This should do. How do you feel?
Oh, can't complain. After all, there's a cozy tree in my back.
I promise, this will be the last fire. After tonight, it won't be trees anymore, but walls and a roof. In Shiring, I will find a job.
What if the bishop wants to hire you for life? To keep his palace in shape? Maybe strengthen the town's defences? Plain things, Tom Builder. Just walls and roofs.
There. Took me a lifetime to find some dry ones in this wet. Why didn't we just use your staff? That old thing would have done nicely.
Because that thing is precious. It's not made to burn. And we might be able to sell it. Right, now let's see if this does the trick.
Martha, you want to cut up some turnips? We'll be making soup.
If it helps.
Alfred, you go and look for water.
We could just eat snow.
No, it'll be proper water for my family. You sit, I'll take care of it.
You still haven't answered my question, Tom Builder. What if the bishop offered you a job like they did in Exeter? Something that is beneath your craft, but pays for a lifetime. Easy work.
Well, building something is never easy.
You know what I mean. After Exeter, you said I could create something that matters. Something that stands for eternity, or I could die setting up houses and sheds. But what if houses and sheds would feed your family? Would you stay this time? Or would you keep on looking?
I'd be glad to stay.
Would you now? Just promise me you'll think about it.
Maybe we can sell the baby.
Can you see the sun yet?
No, but Martha...
Don't distract me. I'm working.
Stupid snow. Why did it have to come down just now?
Should never have left.
Well, we're here now. Guess there's no use complaining. Hungry?
I'm fine.
Houses and sheds. Walls and roofs. I'd be glad. I should be glad.
Tom, what's keeping you? And did you think about what I asked you?
Dreaming of building a cathedral was foolish. When we get to Shiring, I'll take the job.
Why is a cathedral so special?
Well, you've seen a few. You should know.
Yes, but there are so many already. Why do you have to build another one? Is it because God needs more houses?
May I?
If you must.
Well. Actually, a cathedral isn't so different from any other house. It always starts simple, with some walls.
And on top of that, you put a roof.
Very good. A roof to keep off the rain, and walls to keep up the roof. Together that makes one big, long, but dark room. Like a cave. So of course you may want some light coming in.
Windows.
Right. So the people inside can see what they're doing.
I think you forgot something. People can't get in if there are only walls.
So, what do you suggest?
Doors, of course.
Right. And not only doors, but a big and impressive one to let in as many people as possible. By now we've carved quite a few holes in our cathedral. Unfortunately, not every building can carry a roof like that, and have so many windows.
So what do we do?
Good and solid work, that's what we do. If we don't want our cave to collapse, we have to make everything perfect. Not only strong, but consistent and perfectly even. The walls, the roof, the windows, everything perfectly proportioned.
You shouldn't say big words like proportioned when talking to a child.
What does it mean?
It means beauty. Well, it means not only will it keep them dry, it will give them hope. Like this?
Mama?
The baby is coming.
But it's not due. Have your waters broken yet?
Soon after we started walking this morning.
You should have told me.
I'm so tired. I don't believe I can bring it into the world.
Oh, look at all the blood.
Right, what can I do to help?
Cover me.
Will she die? She'll die, right?
Mama.
Let me cover you. Children? Alfred. Get more water. Take snow if you must and make it warm.
Right.
What can I do?
Collect some reeds and make me 2 lengths of string, each big enough for a necklace.
What for?
You'll see. Remember when Martha was born and the Lady Isabella acted as midwife?
You were building a chapel. And you asked her to send her maid to fetch the midwife from the village.
Yeah, and she said, that drunken old witch won't let her deliver a literal wolfhound pups. But she took us to our own chamber and poor Lord Robert could not go to bed until Martha was born. I'd say for a year as bad as this one, we've managed quite well.
You lost your work. And then Martha almost got killed by that pig thief. You call that well?
I know. But we're still here for each other, aren't we? Holding together as a family. Us builders aren't carved out of measly wood. Never were.
You expect a lump of granite to come falling from my legs?
I wouldn't be surprised.
The water's warm now.
Put it next to me. Alfred. Go and collect more wood. Let's have a bigger fire.
More wood?
Do what your father tells you.
Yes, Mother.
It's not long now. Be ready.
I'm here with you.
I know.
I put more wood on the fire.
Can you feel the warmth?
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
I feel so weak.
You'll make it. You're a strong woman. That's why I love you so much.
Two of a kind, eh?
She's losing too much blood.
I'm sorry that I kept quiet all day. I didn't want anyone to worry. It's coming! Help me, Tom! It's coming!
I can see it.
It looks horrible.
He's perfect. A perfect boy. You're still bleeding.
It's all right. It will stop soon. Tom,
Yes?
you make a fine midwife. Did you know that? Do you remember the night I came to you? In your lodge? When you were working on my father's church?
Of course. How could I ever forget?
I never regretted giving myself to you. Never. For one moment. Every time I think of that night, I feel so glad.
Me too.
I hope you build your cathedral.
I thought you were against it.
I was. But I was wrong. You deserve something beautiful. Build a beautiful cathedral. For me.
Papa, what's wrong with her face?
Agnes. Agnes, wake up.
The year of our Lord 1135 had come to an end. King Henry of England, son of William the Conqueror, had died. It was a time of poverty and death. In their despair, some had come to believe Christ and all his saints had gone to sleep, and that the pillars of the earth themselves had begun to crumble. Is there no one to welcome us?
Who goes there? You just crossed the bridge, right? That'll be a farthing for you and a penny for your horse.
How dare you ask a toll from a monk? Do you know who I am, brother?
The monk from the woods. Brother Paul said you'd be coming by. He said you'd bring cheese. It's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
It is not much, but I can share this with you. I hope now it will be easier for you to fulfill your duties.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Will you take care of my horse, brother? I've come to see Prior James.
Prior James? That's him the bells are tolling for. Leave the horse here. I'll get it down to the priory later. Fish should go nicely with that cheese.
What? Why are they ringing the bells?
Don't you know? The devil has come to KINGSBRIDGE.
The devil has come to KINGSBRIDGE? I'm sure there was someone moving behind a window, but most houses are empty. Why did they lock it? Maybe the side entrance is open.
When he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth. The moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell.
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the pestilence that walketh in darkness, the pestilence that rode in on the lightning that struck our cathedral 4 years ago. Did you not all feel its presence here ever since? James did, and I did as well. But the Lord says, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Our beloved Prior James has served the Lord all his life. He shall be delivered from the darkness, from this dark earth.
Prior James?
Philip.
Francis?
Shh. For many years, James has been our prior. After the upcoming election, I vow to lead Kingsbridge Priory with the same steady hand. Amen.
Philip, we told your brother you'd come to Kingsbridge New Year's Day.
I did not expect to see you here.
I was on my way back to Gloucester and wanted to see you.
A priest working in the world of politics. You must tell us about it, Francis.
Of course.
And his brother a prior of what now? 2 years?
It's been 4 years, Cuthbert.
I see. How are things in St. John of the Forest, Philip?
Our little cell is happy and healthy.
Happy and healthy. Thanks to your brother, Francis, St. John in the Forest is prospering. His novices are obedient, his monks humble and pious, while our own priory is in such a sorry state.
You know James did the best he could. It was not his fault. Also, they make a remarkable cheese in St. John's. Come by the kitchen later to see us, will you?
Brother Cuthbert seemed upset.
Well, we all are. The way James died was disturbing.
Disturbing? How did Prior James die?
7 days ago, Brother Remigius found James's room empty. We all looked for him for hours. Then we found his footprints by the bridge and a hole in the ice.
Oh no.
No.
In the small hours of Christmas Day, he must have walked out on the river. We didn't even find his body. The river took him, and the cold.
I will pray for James. See me when you have time, Philip. I will be in the cathedral.
And I should go and see how Brother Cuthbert is doing. It's good to see you, Philip. Maybe things will get better after the chapter elects the new prior.
Hopefully. I will come by the kitchen later, Milius.
So what do you think it means?
I don't know.
You look like you want to ask me something.
You are Philip of Gwynedd?
Yes, but you can call me Brother Philip.
You see? Told you he wouldn't mind.
Yes. Now ask him.
How about you ask him?
I already asked Brother Andrew.
What is it?
Brother Milius told us you know the scripture very well. Could you tell us about God's temple?
Brother Andrew wouldn't tell us.
Must be a place. A cathedral.
That's probably what the guest master was
Each
talking
of
about.
us is God's temple, in the way that he created us.
And what if someone does something to God's temple?
The scripture says, if anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him.
Even if he destroys his own temple of God?
So for Prior James there's no salvation as well? Prior James did not commit suicide.
But no one saw him that night. No one knows.
God knows. God knows what sent him running out onto the ice.
They say the devil was chasing him. Don't say his name.
I have seen brave men run, for many reasons. Never have I seen the devil. So we should not make room for him, neither here nor in our hearts. All right?
Yes, Brother Philip.
Thank you, Brother Philip.
I'm happy to see you, little brother.
It's good to see you too, Philip. Your hair is starting to get a bit grey.
Yours isn't. At least in this one case, I will be the one to boldly charge ahead of you.
You've always been bold. You just don't admit it to yourself.
Francis, what are you doing here?
King Henry is dead.
I know. Word reached St. John's shortly before I left.
First the king, and now Prior James.
God has a plan.
I know he does, but King Henry's death caused quite a commotion in the world of politics. Dark times are coming. There will be war.
If only we could stop the suffering.
Maybe we can. I came not just to meet you. I was sent to look for a messenger of my lord, Earl Robert.
Here? In Kingsbridge?
Farmers said the messenger was heading for Kingsbridge 2 weeks ago. The knight was carrying a confidential document that might change the course of the conflict. People here trust you. Maybe the monks here know something.
We will find him.
One more thing. No one can know why we're looking for the knight.
So, again, we're all God's temple. All of us. Because God created us in His image.
This priory is so much bigger than our small cell in the forest.
That's why we can all pray to Him.
We don't need to go to church for that.
No, we are the temple.
But why a church then?
What we have to ask ourselves is, can our St. Adolphus still protect Kingsbridge in these dark times?
He couldn't protect Prior James.
ever since that lightning struck the cathedral, he wasn't the same.
When you take over my position as sacrist, you should implore the bishop to send us a new relic. By then I'll be sub-prior. The new prior and I will support you in this.
All Kingsbridge needs is faith and hard work.
Philip of Gwynedd, I wanted to talk to you. How dare you disturb Brother Remigius' requiem?
I'm afraid the choir is waiting for me.
Stay, brother. There's no reason you shouldn't hear what Philip has to say for himself.
I was shocked by the prior's death.
We all were. I'm sure at St. John's you're a good prior, but here we adhere to the rules.
Brother Andrew, have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
Aside from the ones that visited for Christmas? No. If there had been an official guest, I would know. And no one stayed at our guest house.
You mentioned a new prior.
The election will be held in a few days, when we all convene for the chapter meeting.
Let us continue this conversation later.
Of course. There's a lot of planning for me to do for the upcoming election.
Why cathedrals? Why do we create temples if we are the temple? Isn't it almost arrogant to try and build a greater temple?
Philip!
Brother Milius.
Come! Warm yourself by the oven.
Is that Philip? Tell him to warm himself by the oven.
Thank you, Brother Cuthbert. Hard at work, as usual, Milius?
I have to serve salt fish 6 times a week now.
We hear you have fresh fish every day at your cell in the forest.
Every other day we even have poultry.
You have done wonderful work at St. John's, Philip. We, on the other hand, had a weak prior for 13 years. May the Lord rest his soul. What you worked hard for at St. John's is wasted here in the mother house.
After the election, the new prior ought to put things right.
Remigius? Put things right.
Who would vote for Remigius? He would be no better than Prior James.
He is the sub-prior, and he made promises to some of the brothers, like the sacrist. He's about to burn all the books and documents in the prior's room, including the priory's ledgers.
Remigius says James asked for everything to be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
What? Without the ledgers, the priory's finances will be beyond saving. Did you see a knight in Kingsbridge?
You mean, aside from the nobles attending the Christmas service? No, I don't remember any knights visiting us.
Was no one else nominated?
Only Cuthbert.
I refused. I'm too old.
No one else dares to follow in Prior James's footsteps. Not since he began talking to the devil.
What?
One day he started talking to the devil, as if they were standing side by side. He was bargaining with the devil for his soul, whispering about his sins.
His sins? We'll talk more later. Brother Cuthbert.
Ah, we were waiting for you. I hope you brought some of that wonderful cheese you make at St. John's.
I gave it to one of your novices.
Why would you do that?
He said it's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
Greedy brother Marcus.
You are too trusting, Philip.
Has there been a night to Kingsbridge recently?
Milius, wasn't there a poor soul found dead before Christmas?
I don't know if he was a knight.
He was put to rest in the cemetery.
The cemetery? That was the right thing to do. Brother Cuthbert, you seem worried.
Prior James was a kind man, but the priory is in a terrible state, Philip.
Philip knows. He was just too kind to say anything.
Yes, I know. I wanted to use my New Year's visit to talk with Prior James about these matters.
We should be rich. The priory has much land and collects from many parish churches. But we are in debt. Our novices steal from us, Philip.
The novices are stealing?
Yes. Someone took my keys. Remigius blames me for losing them. But someone used them to steal food from the cellar, more than once. Today I found something missing again.
Let us continue another time, Brother Cuthbert.
Of course.
Nice and warm, and I didn't burn my hands, Milius.
I knew you could do it.
Milius, why do you keep a beautiful pot like this around?
Oh, it reminds me that we should strive for order and beauty. I started collecting some seeds and nuts because I wanted to start a new garden.
A good idea.
I never got around to collecting more, though. If you find some, let me know.
Brother Paul?
Philip. Ah, ouch. Oh.
Here, Paul.
Oh. Ouch. Oh. A hot stone. Oh. Ah. It's a mercy, Philip. Thank you.
Remigius should give you a fire, or not have you sit here at all.
I don't really mind. Winter is bound to end sometime. Philip, if you ever run into trouble with Remigius, be careful to answer him. Do not stay silent.
Silent?
Nothing makes him angrier than someone who doesn't answer. He becomes weak and defensive. It's not fitting for a sub-prior, let alone prior.
Have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
A knight? Oh, yeah. Yes. He was just lying by the road, just a mile away from the priory. He must have fallen from his horse.
Where is he now?
He died. We buried him in the cemetery.
Did he have a name? Did he say anything?
Oh, he could not speak. But the look in his eyes told me he was afraid. I held his hand and prayed with him while he died.
Did the knight have anything with him?
There was a letter. I gave it to Prior James. Remigius will probably burn it with the rest of James's papers. James insisted that all his books and documents shall be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
I heard about this. I think that would be unwise.
Sometimes I wonder if it was because of that letter. A few days later, Prior James fell through the ice. Right here, Philip. Maybe I brought a curse on Kingsbridge.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Have faith in the Lord, Brother Paul. You did well.
Thank you, Philip.
Brother Arnaldus, how are you?
Huh? What?
How are you? Are you well?
Oh, Brother Philip. Yes, I am well. It's just that the dead won't stay in the ground.
What?
The dead. It's probably those badgers always digging up the graves.
Don't say that.
Why not?
We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the cathedral. It feeds us.
We are people of God. Yet we need to eat too.
We come together here. The pilgrims donate. So do the nobles. No. I heard it, I'm sure.
There was something. He's right.
Now stop it. Concentrate.
There it was again.
Our Father that art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, that on earth as in heaven. Give us this as we... And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
What was that?
Amen. No talking. Now we sing.
Are you sure you heard something?
You seem troubled, brother.
They won't sing. It's Adolphus. There was nothing, believe me. I heard him crying in the crypt.
I think I heard him too.
No, you are mistaken. It sounded like a whip, like he was chastising himself.
It's the end of days.
Brother Philip, please help me. Prove to them that there is nothing and no one down there.
Yes, I'm sure.
It was nothing. Calm down and concentrate.
Brother Andrew.
What is it now?
I asked not to be disturbed.
Brother Remigius, I'm sorry I interrupted your service.
You mean Prior James's service?
Quite so. I heard he fell through the ice. Horrible.
Yes. I was the one who found his rosary by the river. Now let me continue my work.
I would like to take a look at Prior James's documents.
And why is that, Brother Philip?
Well, our little cell has given much to the Mother House. I would like to ensure that all is accounted for.
So you do not trust us, Philip, is that it?
the state of this priory?
The state of this priory is the concern of the Prior of Kingsbridge.
I still would like to see the prior's documents.
They will be burned tonight.
I heard about that.
It was Prior James's last wish. I'm following his request.
But the new prior will be lost without the ledgers and contracts.
After the election, I'll be the new prior.
For now, you are not. Only the chapter meeting can decide on these matters.
Of course. Brother Andrew will surely understand why you would go against James's last request. If you really want to be of help, look for Brother Cuthbert's keys. He's getting old, misplacing them all the time. Rotten edges. We used to eat them. Now, they're eating us.
My father gave the priory a good deal of land to keep me fed. I won't eat salted fish all day.
Me neither.
Shall we go into the cellar again tonight?
Yes, Brother Marcus. You still have old Cuthbert's keys?
Indeed I do. I hid them right in the church. Stuffed them in the large crack in the wall.
I could do some crack stuffing myself.
I bet you could.
I think I heard it again. Adolphus.
Adolphus?
Silence!
I heard it.
The novice said he hid the keys in here.
He's right.
They're here.
Now
I have them.
Concentrate.
There it was again.
This brother Marcus really did steal Cuthbert's keys.
Yes, Philip.
We can't allow Prior James's books to be burned.
That, Philip, was Prior James's wish.
This priory is in debt, and without the ledgers and documents that will never change. Besides, the wisdom in his books is priceless.
It is not up to you to make decisions in this priory, Brother Philip.
Do not domineer over those in your charge, but be an example to the flock.
1 Peter chapter 5. You are right. You shall argue your case in front of the brothers in a chapter meeting today.
Thank you, Brother Andrew.
When I'm done here, I will tell all the monks to come to the chapter house.
Would it help if I went and told some of them?
Feel free to do that. But I insist that the choir finishes practicing before we start. They're already behind schedule.
Did you not hear it?
No, I'm not good with heights.
Nothing here. The saint rests in peace. These old cathedrals are bound to make strange sounds. Hello? Ah! What is that? What is that? It's the size of a child. Hello? Oh. An owl. Just an owl. The choir will be relieved to know that. I should tell them.
It.
There is no need to worry, brothers. Adolphus is resting in peace. It was just an owl.
I told you it was nothing.
God bless you, Brother Philip. I knew I heard something. Now, be silent, concentrate, and...
Why is this locked?
It's getting cold. When will these novices learn to close the door?
I found some beech nuts.
Ah, we will grow a beech tree then.
Wonderful.
If we ever get round to starting the garden.
I'm sure you will. Cuthbert, I believe I found your keys.
Where did you find them?
The thief hid them in the cathedral.
That is a sacrilege. Will you report the thief to Remigius, Brother Philip?
I will think about it.
Keep them until we know what to do, will you?
What is it? Can you not see that I'm working?
Brother Marcus stole Cuthbert's keys.
Brother Marcus. I will deal with him. You were right to report this to me. Theft is something we cannot take lightly.
The choir has finished singing. The cantor should find time now. Are you ready for the chapter meeting, Brother Philip? If you have any other business to take care of in Kingsbridge, do it now. The meeting could take a long time.
The chapter meeting is more important. And this is why Prior James's wish must not be honoured. Kingsbridge Priory would be beyond saving without financial records.
I think we have all understood the reason for your concern, Brother Philip. But before we come to a decision, let us hear other voices of concern.
I would like to know why you would doubt the wisdom in Prior James's decision.
Maybe you didn't know him as well as we did, Philip. I can say I knew him well. We all here knew him.
I knew him well, and I know he would agree with me.
Philip, you are going too far. I will tell the bishop about this.
Brothers,
let him speak. Brothers, please, let's hear what he has to say.
Let Philip speak.
Oh, heavens.
hear him out, brothers. I was stubborn as well, but he made me see it.
Well, that's not an easy thing to do.
Yes.
I owe James much. He was the one who asked me to take care of St. John in the Forest.
One of the most prosperous cells in all of Shiring, if not England.
It was a wise decision then. But his last wish was not? Well, was it? What are you waiting for? Answer me!
Is walking on thin ice wise?
Who does he think he is?
May the Lord forgive him. He knows not what he is saying.
No. Philip was very hesitant to talk about the state of this priory with me. Usually he is as careful in his words as he is in his actions.
Yes. Philip asked us a question. Was it wise to walk out onto the ice?
God was testing Prior James.
I say the devil chased him. Do you doubt that? Do you doubt that, Philip? Surely you must have an answer.
If the Lord tested James, then he is testing all of us. I trust the Lord, so did James, and so should all of you. He was misguided when he walked onto the ice that night, as he was misguided in his last wish. Whatever or whoever misguided him.
Maybe it wasn't the devil. We've never seen him.
The novices would be better advised not to speak up.
Philip is a good man. He was the only one to say I should have a fire.
But did he do anything besides talk?
Yes, he brought me a hot stone.
That's our Philip.
Very well, Philip. But why don't you tell us the real reason you have come before us? You not only came to save these books, you have another motivation, do you not?
I am here only to help this priory.
This priory, of course. I say it is not a coincidence that he should make his voice heard now, shortly after James's passing and before the elections.
What are you saying, Brother Remigius?
This is not about James. It is about him. He wants to be prior.
No. I came here to talk to James.
I think that is a wonderful idea. I nominate Philip of Gwynedd to be the new prior of Kingsbridge.
I can't disagree with that.
Well, yes, obviously, much.
Excellent choice. What about Remigius?
That's surprising.
Great idea. Philip.
Brother Philip, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you for your kind offer, but we would not want to impose on you, Brother Remigius.
Oh, but I insist. I will help you.
No, you really must not. We will see you later. Thank you. We don't have much time. Evening Mass will begin soon.
Should I not have accepted the nomination?
You've never been good at saying no. And Milius is right. Kingsbridge needs you.
What about St. John's?
I will ride there tomorrow. I will let them know you will be staying in Kingsbridge for a few days. Thanks to you, these documents and books will not be burned. Now, we have to find that letter.
You truly think the letter can help prevent a war?
If the message says what I think it says, then yes, I do. Now, let us look for the letter.
Francis, I think I found it.
In the Bible?
Revelations, the Apocalypse of St. John. And they called to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?" The Lamb? What was James afraid of? Was it this letter?
No, the letter is still sealed. Break the seal. Oh, this is it. You found it.
The Earl of Shiring is about to start a war.
Yes. He's made contact with my own master, Earl Robert of Gloucester.
Who is this King Stephen that has taken the throne?
A nephew of King Henry. Do you ever think of the day our parents died?
Francis, you know I don't like to talk of that.
I know. It's just that I think of them all the time. And I've always blamed King Henry. The Church suffered under his rule as much as we did in Wales. Philip, you have to show this letter to the Bishop of Kingsbridge.
The Bishop of Kingsbridge? Why?
Our late King Henry was opposed to Rome's influence in England. King Stephen, on the other hand, swore to preserve the rights and privileges of the Church, and we can help him if you tell the bishop to protect Stephen.
You want the bishop to help the new king, King Stephen?
I want a king who supports the Church. I want these dark times to end. I want to stop the Earl of Shiring from starting a war. He could set the whole of England on fire. My lord the Earl of Gloucester can never know what I was doing here. You must not tell the truth about how or where you got this letter. Don't tell anyone I was involved.
Do you really think the bishop will help?
Tell him you found the letter by coincidence.
And if he does not believe me, what then?
He will believe you. The question is, will he really try to stop the Earl of Shiring? I will ride to St. John's and tell your monks you will stay in Kingsbridge until the election.
What if the Earl of Shiring finds out what I'm doing? What if the bishop tells him?
Philip, calm down. He is your bishop.
I'm a simple monk. Who am I to talk to a bishop?
Yes.
My name is Jack. For a long time, it was the only name I had known. I was born and raised in a cave by my mother. We were used to getting by, but that year the winter had been harsh. I was proud to have killed my first deer that day. And while waiting for Mother to help me cure it, I decided to practice my reading.
The Lord and King of all France, Charles the Great, has spent 7 long years fighting in Spain. He has conquered the highlands and the plain. The Lord and King of all France, Charles the Great, has spent 7 long years fighting in Spain. He has conquered the highlands and the plain. Before him, not a single fort remains.
Afternoon was approaching fast, and Mother still hadn't returned. So, if I wanted to cure the meat, I had to do it on my own. Else it would all go to waste.
Huh? What's that? There he is. Charles the Great, protector of my town. You're coming with me. Good. It's warmer. Now I need some wet wood to make it smoke properly. Mother will be proud. Now, what's that noise?
Seen you. Who is he? A whip. That's what he is. A whip. That means he's someone bad.
Easy now, it's just someone little. No need to be afraid.
I'm going to follow him. You go home and wait for me, little cub.
Mother?
Don't move. We killed the pig thief in Salisbury, we can kill you too. Bloody outlaw. Where's the baby? Did you eat it?
I don't have the baby.
Right. What's this?
Give it back.
What do you want with this? You can't read.
Give it back.
Leave the boy be, Alfred.
He took the baby. I saw him take Mother's cloak. He's the only one around. Who else would have taken it?
Wolves.
A monk took it.
A monk?
Yes, on a horse.
Is that true? Where did he go?
He should take us there.
Leave him alone. He's just a boy.
What is your name, boy?
Jack.
Do you live in these woods, Jack? Then you know this place better than us. Please. I don't know why I left the child. I thought I couldn't take care of him alone, but I cannot leave him to die either. I have to know if he's all right. Will you help us? You're a good lad. I owe you.
If you want your silly book back, you better keep your word.
For now, I had no choice. The girl was sobbing, while her father remained tense but quiet. The boy kept on pushing me, which confused me greatly. I had never been hated before. If I had any... The monk had crossed a small stream, or he had followed its course north, which would have led him towards the next village. Either way, the tracks ended at a riverbed as evening was fast approaching. The big man looked at me. "Which way, boy?" he asked. But I could only guess. By now the girl's sobs had ceased, as she had fallen asleep on her father's shoulders. The water was icy, and it hurt. At one point the boy slipped and fell. I considered my options, but standing in the middle of a stream hardly allowed for a quick escape. He slapped my hand away and pushed himself up. When we reached the bank, he was drenched and shook bitterly. He gave me a nasty glare while I was already searching the ground. There were no hoofprints on this side of the stream.
What is it?
He got us lost.
Did you?
Papa, I'm tired.
That's all right. Come on, up on my shoulders you go.
No, I'm too heavy, and you're too tired anyway. I will remain steadfast.
You should all get some rest. Alfred, stay here with them while I take a look ahead.
No, don't go.
I won't be far, dear. Besides, you can do me a favour while I'm gone. Have an eye on the lads and make sure they get some sleep, all right?
All right.
See? You are steadfast. I won't be long.
You stay where I can see you while my sister rests. And no tricks. Huh? What is it? Did you hear something?
The fog is lifting.
I don't like you. Tell me, why do you care about your book so much? You're an animal. You don't even know what it is.
The Lord and King of all France, Charles the Great, has spent 7 long years fighting in Spain. He has conquered the highlands and the plain. Before him, not a single fort remains.
What are you rambling on about?
It's from the book.
How do you know this? You're an animal.
Can't you read?
Hey, you see that? Over there in the fog. There is something there. What is it?
A deer. It broke through the ice and died.
Children! Martha, wake up, dear.
Who's she?
We met in the forest. I'm Jack's mother. Come here, Jack.
Did you find him?
Yes, dear, we did.
The baby is safe. The monk brought it to a small cell not far from here.
But we won't go there now. Ellen offered us shelter for tonight.
I have. Follow me.
If I'd known you lived this close, my Agnes might have been saved.
Don't fool yourself. When a woman is bleeding inside, it either stops or it doesn't. All you can do is keep her warm, and you did that. I'm sorry, but the living must take care of the living. Jack, give the children some soup, will you? Will you be able to get work soon?
Hard to say. People don't usually hire a new master builder in winter. Too cold for stirring water. Sometimes you get lucky, but not this year. Some time ago I had work in Exeter. They offered me the post of builder for the Castellan to keep the walls and defences in shape. It would have kept me busy for the rest of my life. We would have lived like bishops.
What happened?
I refused. All I cared about was working on a cathedral again. I was a fool.
You can do better than to build churches.
Well, I worked on one once. That was good work. I won't ramble on
Thank you,
now.
Jack.
But if you ask Martha, she'll tell you everything about it.
You know, a man like you should not beat himself so hard.
No. No, there is no excuse for leaving my baby son behind.
Women die in labour. Men abandon their children all the time. It is rare that they return.
Is that what happened to you and your son?
No, that is an altogether different story. One I haven't even told Jack yet. All I can say is, I raised him alone in this cave, outside of town law. Just us and the forest.
How do you get by?
We hunt, we gather. It works well enough for us two to survive. You can thank Jack for the meal, by the way. My little cub caught his first deer today, all by himself.
I'm impressed. Eat well, children. You'll need your strength.
And so do you, Master Builder. Go on, tuck in.
I will. Thank you. Well, they're asleep now. So, what is it?
I told you that the monk had taken the baby to a small cell nearby. It's true, but I advise you to stay away from there.
What? Why?
Because you abandoned it. That counts as murder.
Then I have to steal him. I have to own up to what I've done. I have to take back my son.
Think for a moment. You have been out of work since summer. A baby needs a lot of care. More than your other children. How will you feed him?
But what am I to do then? Live like you? I don't know a thing about hunting. I'm a mason. Even in a castle I'm more at home than here.
Leave the baby with the monks. He'd be warm and fed. You wouldn't have to carry him while you look for work. And when you do find something, you can come back and fetch him.
I don't know. Since Agnes died, I don't know anything anymore.
You're a good man, Tom Builder. You're kind and gentle and strong. You will do the right thing. You also don't have to go through this alone, you know. Jack and I will have to leave this place soon. The winter is too cruel, and we might not survive if we stayed. We could all travel together.
I don't know. I have my hands full with my children already.
I can help you take care of them. If you promise to teach my son how to get along in the world of men. We may be strangers now, but we would be at each other's side, helping out however we can.
The living must take care of the living.
Yes.
That night I dreamed of a strange world. There were small castles, dead deer, and a giant called Tom. In that dream I was happy. I tightly held my mother's hand, watching the kind giant and learning his mysterious ways.
My brother is as stubborn as you are sometimes. But I trust him. The bishop has to see this letter. My pony should be fed. Do I just take some hay? My pony needs to be fed. Here. You're still hungry, aren't you? Who am I to approach the bishop at dusk like a thief? My pony needs to be fed soon. Should I take some? I will take just a couple. There you go. Oh, why must I be so nervous? I trust Francis. He knows about these things.
How can I help you?
I have come to see the bishop.
Who may I tell the bishop is visiting?
I am the prior of St. John in the Forest.
And what, may I tell Bishop Walerin, is the reason for your visit? The bishop insists that I ask.
I am afraid I can only tell the bishop himself.
The bishop wishes to know beforehand.
In this case, we will have to make an exception.
Wait here.
I may lead only a small cell, but that does not mean my matters are of less importance. If I can face our Lord, then why would I be afraid to face my bishop? Where do I tell the bishop I found it?
Did I not tell you to wait?
Oh.
Come in. The bishop will see you now. The Right Reverend Bishop Walerin, by God.
Please, sit down.
Thank you, Right Reverend.
Please, call me Waileran. It seems you were a little impatient. But of course, there is nothing wrong with eagerness. Timothy informed me you are the prior of...
St. John in the Forest, Right Reverend.
Then you must be Philip of Gwynedd.
I'm surprised you know my name.
As bishop, I am the ex officio abbot of Kingsbridge. So, I am bound to take an interest.
Well, God has blessed us in St. John.
I wish God would confer similar blessings on Kingsbridge Priory. Tell me, Prior Philip, what brings you here at such a late hour? Timothy said that you will only tell me.
Old Bartholomew of Shiring. Do you know him well?
As bishop, I am much involved in politics. Though, of course, the church can never be involved enough. Bartholomew is a stubborn man. He is opposed to any suggestions from me, and I am his bishop.
I heard the same about the Earl of Gloucester.
How do you know of this? Ah, your brother Francis is working for Earl Robert of Gloucester, is he not? Did he tell you?
Excuse me. No, I heard at a guest house on my way to Kingsbridge. Unfortunately, I rarely see my brother.
You both must be very busy indeed. But why are you bringing up politics? Tell me, Philip, why are you here?
Was I wrong to come to you, my bishop? Maybe I should have taken the letter to the Sheriff of Shiring.
Eustace is ungodly, arrogant, grasping and corrupt. So are all sheriffs. Philip, how did you get this letter?
I found it among Prior James's documents in Kingsbridge. I am staying there for a few days.
Prior James. May he rest in peace. Did he not order everything to be burned?
You know about this?
Sub-Prior Remigius mentioned it once.
I asked them not to burn James's books. The brothers agreed.
Well, and there you found the letter?
Yes.
Timothy, leave us. And did you find anything else?
No, just the letter. The messenger carrying it had an accident and died near Kingsbridge. A war would cost so many lives.
God thunders wondrously with his voice.
He does great things that we cannot comprehend. The Book of Job. But this is not the work of God, but of Earl Bartholomew.
You are truly the man I have heard so much about. I will call on friends of mine. Pray for us that we can put an end to Bartholomew's plan before it is too late. You did a brave thing for our church, Brother Philip. A brave thing indeed. You'll go back to Kingsbridge Priory now and forget about the sheriff, won't you?
I will.
And, don't speak of this to anyone there.
I shan't. to leave, old friend.
Did you pack enough food? It will be a while before you get to eat smoked venison again.
Yeah, I took some.
Anyone seen Martha?
She said she had to piss.
All right. I'll go get her.
You're a mason too, right?
Uh-huh.
So, what have you built so far? I'm sure Jack would love to hear about your work.
Houses.
They're looking for you. I don't want to leave. It's so dangerous out there. I don't want to get robbed again. Tom will beat them up. But since Mama died, he seems so weak. Papa usually protects me. But he can't always be around. He needs to take care of himself too. You need to learn to defend yourself. I want to, but I'm still so small. And I want to stay here where it's safe. This knight is Charles the Great. He will protect you. Oh. Am I his princess? You are. Together you are brave and smart and will never give up. All right. I have to stay steadfast. Thank you, Jack.
Martha! Where are you?
Come on. We're going on a great quest.
On our way, I told Martha the names of my trees. There was the birch, Jerusalem, and the oaks, Alexandria and Byzantium. When I pointed out Rome, she laughed and named an apple tree Southampton. The farther we walked, the merrier she became, christening all the new trees Winchester, Bath, Salisbury, while I grew quieter and quieter. Finally, we arrived at a large road. This heads towards Shiring, Tom said. The strangest name of them all. By noon, we had reached the edge of town. Mother gave us some dry prunes to chew while she argued with Tom whether we should head directly to town or past the palace of the so-called bishop. Tom was hopeful to find work at the palace, but Mother seemed uneasy. As we approached the building, Tom noticed the cold in Mother's eyes. Although she had agreed to accompany him to the bishop, she had remained quiet about her true feelings, while Tom didn't see it fit to ask. Gradually, the palace came into view. Shiring was full of people looking for work. Mother and Tom kept asking around while we rested our feet at the market. Alfred gave me a look as if he wanted to punch me, but I only stared at the buildings, amazed by the straightness of their walls. Finally, Mother called us over. Rumour had it that the Earl of Shiring was hiring all kinds of people. It was then that I heard a man in a robe say, "That voice, it's her. The witch. She was here 10 years ago." But apart from me, no one took notice.
You don't know me. You're misjudging whatever it is I did. I'm willing to forgive your mistake if you accept my offer now.
This is all about family honor to you, isn't it? Perhaps I should tell you about my mother. She was a happy person who loved to laugh and tell stories, but father made her miserable. Oh, he's not a bad man, but solemn and strict. She hated him so much she died from it.
Are you saying you don't like me?
You're so self-centered. You never think about anyone else's feelings. You have no refinement and you can barely read. What were you expecting?
One day you will see that you are wrong, and then I won't be so forgiving.
All right. Let's hope it's true and the Earl needs us.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Alfred, keep an eye out. I'll be right back. And boys, try to get along.
An eye out for what?
Papa wants him to look for things that are broken.
Some people don't know they need a mason until you show them.
Papa could fix their walls, or build a house. One man can build an entire house? I want to see.
Learn what you can, but don't stray too far.
Ugh. Why won't anyone just give me something to eat? Hey boy, come here. Say, what do you think about Tom?
He's nice.
Well, let me tell you something. He may seem nice, but he really doesn't care about anyone but himself. Whatever you do, he doesn't care. He'll just drag you into his own misery. So take my advice. If you and your mother want to stay, you better learn to shut up and put yourself second. That's all I'm saying.
Watch. How do you do that? Like this.
That's nothing fancy. Anyone can do that.
Well, I could watch Jack all day.
Suit yourself.
Nice. And another one. Yay!
I can't believe the Earl allowed his daughter to refuse him. How scandalous.
Well, William Hamleigh is an idiot. I wouldn't marry him either. She deserves...
Are you knights?
We are? Why, you want to be like us?
Like you?
Tell you what, snatch us some food from the keep, and we might train you.
Very good. That should be a valuable first lesson.
Watch your step, you little twit.
Don't mind him, boy. That's just William Hamleigh. He was hoping for a princess, but all he got was a boot.
What's he doing? Do you think he forgot something?
His dignity, perhaps?
Look, you strike me as an honest worker, but we have a right who does all the repairs for us.
Then something else, maybe? I heard rumours that there's all kinds of work here.
Well, unfortunately, it's not builders we're looking for. Actually, it's quite the opposite.
I understand. Thank you for your consideration. Walk with me, boy.
I'm sorry, boy. The Lady Aliena won't see any visitors today.
Lady Aliena?
A charming young woman. She lives on top of the keep.
Like a princess?
Well, no. Although, I suppose she would make a splendid queen indeed. For now, she is just the Earl of Shiring's daughter, and quite good at her role, if I may say so.
I want to see the lady.
My, you are just as rude as her previous visitor, aren't you? All want but no manners.
Can I see her?
May I see her?
May I?
As I said already, she won't receive any more visitors today. At least not any scoundrels. Not after that Hamleigh boy tried to propose to her. Again. She'd rather enjoy some quiet than another wide-eyed piglet who thinks himself a minstrel. Now, don't start singing, please.
Hamleigh?
Yes, Percy Hamleigh's son, William. Now, off you go.
May I see the lady?
I told you she is not in the mood for pushy boys right now. She prefers someone a little more pleasant. And farewell to you.
We have followers all over the south of England.
Of course. You're the Earl, after all.
A title doesn't guarantee anything, my son.
I don't understand. Is that why you sent all those letters?
We only know what's happening in the south, but Earl Robert is in the west.
Together we control the entire southwest.
Not all of it, but we have messengers in place to keep us informed about everything. Now, be quiet for a moment. I need to think.
No. The Earl is busy, boy.
You there, what do you want? My father and I have important business. So go play in the yard with the other children.
So, have you heard about anyone else who might need a mason?
Last
I
summer
found this
they
in the
were
keep's
building up the
kitchen.
monastery in Sharp.
Can you teach me how to be a
But they
knight
might be
now?
finished now.
Shit. Oh, no. You shit.
Been to Shaftesbury.
Can't just
Already too
steal
many
from
masons
the Earl.
for too little
We
work.
were messing with you, lad. Just messing.
What
Put
about
that thing
those
away.
guns?
Quick.
That's
Let's pretend
up
we
to the
didn't
Earl
see
and
it.
his steward to decide. I can't say anything.
Even a fool can see these buildings need work. If the Earl's not worrying about his stalls and his kitchens, it might be something else.
They refused you.
Oh, just because work rarely falls into one's lap, that doesn't mean there is none. I'll give this place a look over while you tell your mother to be patient.
What do you need work for?
It pays. It buys shelter and clothing and we don't have to starve. Not everyone can live in a forest, boy.
No?
No. People need to be around people. And for that, things have to be set in stone. Like the laws in towns, or rents, or wages. If everyone did whatever they liked, things would get very bad very quickly.
Did you know there's a princess living here?
Well, I heard the Earl has a daughter, but that's about it.
Alfred is angry.
What? Why?
He says you're selfish and don't care about him.
Thank you for telling me, Jack. I will talk to him later.
Can't you work somewhere else?
Not if we want to eat tonight.
What are you looking for?
Something to convince the Earl that keeping things the way they are won't do for long. Could be something small, like washed out mortar or a loose column. Yeah, I need to see the hole before I can carve the rock. I'm going to talk to some people. You just keep an eye out. And if you see something I can fix, let me know.
What is it, boy? You just want to stand there and stare? All right then, let's see what you've got. You're good. Could kill a boar with that stare. Pierce it like an arrow. Ever tried that, boy? Stare a boar to death?
No, but I can kill a deer with a rock.
You know what had happened to a boy who claimed he'd killed a deer?
Only the king is allowed to, right?
Aye, or the queen for that matter. Whoever has their arse on the bloody throne end of summer. Used to be that anyone could hunt, but these are proper times now. Decent and orderly. At least when it comes to butchering deer, that is.
Are you a knight?
I'll be damned if I wasn't. Would have risked my life for nothing if all I was supposed to do was bake bread. Be warned, lad. Get a job that pays. Not one where you have to pay for a new horse every time someone kicks your arse. Being a knight costs you, especially when you're also a drunkard. Damn, if only I'd known.
Will you be fighting soon?
Why are you asking? Alright, let me tell you a secret. Can you keep a secret? What colour is your shite, boy? Excellent. Looks like you can keep your mouth shut after all. You want to be in on the real deal now? Then just say the words, "What's your bloody secret, catface?"
What's your bloody secret, Catface?
Well put, boy. Well put. For bloody it is. We are all going to fight soon. It's for a thing called loyalty. See, all these knights are loyal to one man, and he is loyal to another. And he then is loyal to yet another, a woman, who is the rightful queen of the English. For some here, loyalty's all about coin and favours and power. But for me, it's all about whom I trust, whom I follow all the way to hell for all the right reasons. Going to hell together with confidence and trust. It's what's holding this world together, boy. Ah. So, you understood my little secret? Good.
Do you need a mason?
Me? Well, these battlements could use a fresh stone or two, but apart from that, I don't know a bloody thing about building, and I don't want to. All I care about is a good sturdy wall and some hot tar to keep my enemies warm. That reminds me of a story. Want to hear a story, boy? Well, you see, I'm not just one for a good solid tarring. But back in my day, I was also quite the stealthy bastard, if I may say so. So this one time, me and my men lay siege to this castle. While both sides rested for the night, I took my crowbar and swam over to the enemy. There was this piece of wall where the mortar had gone away, and one could easily look through the holes into their courtyard. So what did I do? I smoothly tore a hole with my crowbar and snuck inside. Then, what you want to do is hit them where it really hurts. That's not always the groin. In this case, it was their old well barely standing up. So, one kick, and all its rocks tumbled and covered the hole. From then on, they were without water. The shortest siege in the history of sieges. And not one man died. All because I had an eye on the wall and made good use of that well.
That's what knights do?
Knights do a lot of things, lad.
How did you end that siege again?
I looked for a wall where the mortar was gone. I kicked in their ramshackle well. Easy.
Huh.
What a strange boy.
Is anything broken here?
Well, these battlements could use a fresh stone or two, but apart from that... What is it, boy?
Is anything broken here?
Well, these battlements could use a fresh stone or two, but apart from that... Huh?
How did you end that siege again?
I looked for a wall where the mortar was gone, and I kicked in their ramshackle well. Easy.
The battlements are broken.
I noticed that already. Now, see if you can spot any more damage. Even better, keep an ear out for gossip about the Earl. If we can figure out what kind of man he is, we might learn what's important to him.
There is a wall without mortar.
If that's true, you have a very keen eye. Now, see if you can spot one more area of damage. And tell me if you learn anything about the Earl.
Where did you get that?
Just eat it.
I can see we're going to be good friends.
There is one.
What?
There is a princess here.
Oh, show me.
My lady,
Yes, Matthew?
there are 2 children downstairs, desperately wanting to see you.
Children?
A rather cheerful little girl, and an annoying boy.
Well, considering that it is my role to tend to my father's guests, I believe I can see them.
Your father let you renounce a wedding. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you declined this as well.
But a cheerful little girl?
And an annoying boy.
We will get along. You may bring them up. Oh, it's you. I noticed you and your parents from my window. What can I do for you? You're quite shy, aren't you? Would you like something to eat?
But they won't serve food yet.
They do what I tell them. I will have Matthew get you some bread.
Yes, please. Where's your mother?
My mother died.
Aren't you sad?
I was, but that was a long time ago. My brother Richard can't even remember her.
My mother's dead too.
When did she die?
Last week.
Oh. Who's that woman with you then?
That's my mother.
And where's your father?
I never had a father.
Where did you come from then?
From my mother. All young things come from their mothers. What have fathers got to do with it?
I think you should have a word with your mother. Come on, I want to show you something. Have you ever been up this high before?
No. Wow. All the people look so small. Like little mice. You must be up here every day.
I used to, but nowadays I try to hold myself back.
Why?
We are about to make some great enemies. If our first assault fails, they may want to lay siege to our castle, so I will have to get used to staying up here for a long while. I suppose this view will bore me soon enough. Till then, I'm trying to keep it special.
And you're sharing it with us? I don't think that I'd ever get bored by this.
Come on, let's go back down. Matthew will take you to your parents.
How did it go?
Oh, she was so pretty. Don't you agree, Jack? The Lady Aliena thinks there will be an attack.
Here, go find Tom and tell him.
The well is in bad repair.
It is? Yeah, very good, Jack. That's one thing the Earl needs to get fixed for sure. Well, that should do for now. Now, stay sharp. And tell me if you learn anything about the Earl.
Lady Aliena is expecting an attack.
An attack? So the Earl is planning to go to battle. That's very helpful, Jack. You did a very good job, son. Now come along. You deserve to see if it works.
Look, I'd like to give you work, but we don't need you.
I just hope you're not expecting a siege soon.
Why do you say that?
Your defences are in bad repair.
Be specific, man.
The mortar in your walls has come away in places. This leaves an opening for a crowbar, and once there's a hole, it's easy to pull the entire wall down.
Anything else?
Yeah, the keep has an undercroft with a wooden door. If I were attacking the keep, I'd go through that door and start a fire in the stores.
And if you were the Earl, how would you prevent that?
I'd have a pile of stone ready shaped and a supply of sand and lime for mortar. and a mason standing by ready to block up that doorway in times of danger.
Matthew, may I have a word with you?
Well, we have a home. For now. Is that all right for you all?
Of course.
Alfred?
Why are you asking me?
Because you're a builder. I think you have a say in it too.
It's fine with me.
Grab your things, everyone, and follow me. It's time we put a roof over our heads.
And thus Tom Builder had finally found work. Little did we know then that it wouldn't last for long.
It's good you sent your brother to tell your flock in St. John's about your nomination. If you'd gone yourself, they might not have let you leave again.
There is a good chance I will return to St. John's after the election today.
Why so pessimistic?
Many of the brothers still want Remigius to become prior.
Philip.
Yes?
There was an incident with one of our novices.
What kind of incident?
Remigius caned him. He was bleeding all over.
He could barely walk, but walk he did. We called out for him, but he did not turn around. He never looked back.
He ran away?
He is not the first. And it wasn't the first time Brother Marcus was punished either.
Brother Marcus?
Yes, he stole my keys and food. You reported him to Remigius.
I did, but he is practically a child.
Remigius really goes too far.
Last year he hit a novice. The poor soul became deaf in one ear.
Tell me, Philip, what will be the first thing that you do when you're elected?
We must become self-sufficient and pay off our debts.
Yes, we must.
It will take years of hard work.
You just keep doing what you have always done, Milius. And we will teach the brothers out there to do the same.
You cannot go in there.
What was that?
Who are these people?
Hey!
Step back. Step back, I said.
What is going on out there?
Soldiers?
Did they start a war again? Those fools.
Philip! It's Francis. They have Francis.
Francis.
What's your name? It would be easier for us all if you just came with us.
What about the child? Is it yours?
Francis.
Like it or not, you'll be coming with us.
We were looking for you.
What are you doing here? And who is that?
I found him. In the woods.
Hey!
Hey!
We fed him goat's milk in St. John's. Johnny Eightpence did. He says he misses you.
He was always very sentimental.
Hey!
Philip, you must not tell these men my name. My Lord Robert of Gloucester believes me to be in Winchester.
I gave the letter to the bishop. He said he'd help.
May God have mercy on us. I was wrong to send you.
What is it?
These men are with the bishop. He is here in Kingsbridge.
The bishop is here?
Hey, you two. You should listen when you're spoken to. Who are you? And what about the child?
Did you make it? Did you two do it and make a little baby? By God, you look so funny. Oh, come on, let me hold him.
A name, or both of your names. Come on, you two. Give us something we can work with.
The child is under my protection.
Oh, is it now?
Good for you, monk. What's your name? And don't pretend you can't talk, because I'm sick of listening to you.
I am Philip. Philip of Gwynedd.
It's him we're looking for, not the other one.
Monks, they all look alike.
We were looking for you. Bishop Wailerun wants to see you.
Oh.
We found him. He's here. Tell the bishop.
I found the monk. The bishop. Tell the bishop.
Go on, monk. We'll all keep an eye on you.
You will be safe. We've come just for you, so move.
What are you waiting for?
Go on, monk.
That's a monk. We're here, Christopher. Tell the bishop. I thought he would at least be taller than me.
What is going on here, Philip?
I don't know.
The bishop knows he's here. We told him.
He's expecting you.
Philip. There you are.
The Right Reverend Bishop Wailerun, by God.
Philip and I are already acquainted.
You were looking for me, my bishop?
I was. Remigius, Philip does look distressed, does he not?
Yes, he does.
Tell me, what is on your mind?
Soldiers have invaded the priory.
Invaded? Oh, of course. I have gotten too used to the presence of knights and nobles. The work of a bishop. The reason why these men are outside right now is your letter, Philip. As I suspected, it did convince my allies to go against the Earl of Shiring. These allies of mine insisted that their knight should accompany me along with their son, and very soon they will ride against the Earl.
I understand, my bishop.
Philip, I have the feeling that there is a storm rising. Right here, in Kingsbridge. And in the eye of that storm stands one man. You. Around you, things begin moving. Don't they, Remigius?
Yes.
But there is one important thing you have kept from me.
There is? My bishop?
You did not mention that you, Philip, were nominated to be Prior of Kingsbridge.
The brothers here will elect their new prior today, will they not?
The election will take place in a few hours, my bishop.
We need a strong prior. James was my friend, but a strong prior he was not. We are in agreement on these matters, are we not, Remigius?
Of course, Right Reverend. The bishop and I agreed you should have this.
Very well. Now, when your distinguished guests arrive, what will be the subject of your first sermon as the new prior of Kingsbridge?
I think what I would talk about is... I beg your forgiveness, but I do not understand.
Most of your brothers agree with me on this matter. Remigius has talked to them. They will vote for you.
As will I. And I will support you in your duties in my role as sub-prior.
A role you have fulfilled wonderfully in the past, Remigius. Wonderfully.
My bishop?
Philip of Gwynedd. You will be the new prior of Kingsbridge.
In humbleness, I stand before you, most humbled by your trust and humbled by the great tasks ahead of us. We must restore Kingsbridge to do justice to the glory of God and to his mercy. The desperate and the hopeless everywhere shall hear our bells. They shall see our towering cathedral. Our great church will become a guiding light, first and foremost, through our actions and our faith. We ourselves shall be such a light to the lost, the hurt, and the suffering on their path to God.
The Earl of Shiring is not in attendance, it seems.
He is not. Shameful. He's busy preparing his siege on Winchester.
I trust he does not know we are about to foil his plans, Percy.
Answer the bishop, my husband.
No, he does not expect us, not at all. My men are ready.
So is our son.
Excellent. Excellent.
There you are. What's the matter?
Did I have a father?
Yes. Everyone has a father.
What happened to him?
He died before you were born.
How could he be my father if he died before I was born?
Babies grow from a seed. The seed comes out of a man's prick and is planted in a woman's cunny. Then the seed grows into a baby in her belly, and when it's ready, it comes out.
Why did you never tell me? About father, I mean.
I needed you to be older. Trust me, once the time is right, I will tell you everything. I promise.
What was my father's name?
Jack, the same as you. They called him Jack Sherberg.
So, if there's another Jack, I can tell people that I'm Jack Jackson?
You can. People don't always call you what you want them to, but you can try. What is that? Jack, find the others. Then hide and don't come out till I tell you.
Oh, there are at least 200 of them at the river.
Knights again? What colors do they wear?
They are not knights, Philip.
They say they cannot pay.
It is all right, Brother Paul.
I told them that there's a toll.
Who is your leader? Who will speak for you?
No one will speak for us, monk.
We were chased from every village.
They are outlaws.
We are no outlaws.
We come from Earl's Castle.
They killed our men!
My child! They killed my child!
By God. We cannot feed you. We barely have enough for ourselves.
We will give them shelter.
Philip, we have not enough room.
We will give you all shelter, all of you.
I wish I had more to give.
More? We've given away almost all the food we have. What will these poor people eat tomorrow?
Before they came here, they fed themselves. They worked. Surely they can do that again.
There are more coming. Word is spreading fast.
What do we do now, Philip?
Give me the rest of the bread.
But...
Here, Philip.
Then help to clean out the empty houses and tend to the injured.
You heard our prior, brothers.
How do we deserve this? Why has God forsaken us?
He has not forsaken you.
But our children are sick. Our husbands were killed.
Take some bread for your children.
This is not enough.
He has more bread. I saw it.
Please, our children are starving.
Give us bread for our children.
Children, take some food. Please, take it. You have to eat. Here, I will put it here. Eat when you're hungry.
Earl Bartholomew was a good man. How they humiliated him in front of his children. It was not right.
He will come to help us.
No, woman, they will hang him.
But why?
No, I'm all right. Others need it more than I.
Take it. Share it with the others, but you have to eat too.
Thank you, Father. Please, give some to those
Give
people
it
over
to
there.
us. We have
Why
nothing.
did this happen?
What did we
Our
do
children
wrong?
will die in this cold.
Wake
Please,
up, Pa.
let us stay. We can work.
Philip, we are running out of room.
Have you done as I told you?
We have cleared out the houses and put up fires. All houses are occupied, and our brothers are treating the sick and injured.
There is still some room in the guest house and in the dormitory. Tomorrow we will open the cathedral. We need all the room we can get.
Prior Philip?
Yes?
I am Tom, Master Builder, and I'd like to rebuild your northwest tower.
Dear God, you look even worse than the others. Like they haven't eaten in days.
They just don't stop coming, do they?
I have worked on Salisbury Cathedral. My last employer was the Earl of Shiring himself. I know my craft. If you let your tower collapse, it may tear down parts of the nave. Hire me, and I'll make it strong again.
Do you not see how many there are in need? They need help as much as you do.
They all followed a profession once. They all want to work.
That child? You are raising a child?
My brother found Jonathan in the woods and brought him here. The poor boy would have frozen to death if it hadn't been for God's great mercy.
Jonathan.
Look, I am sorry, but all I can offer you is a place to sleep.
I'll accept, but I'd rather earn it. We didn't come here to beg.
Ask God then. That wouldn't be begging, it'd be prayer.
You remember what I told you about the kindness of monks? Ask God. That wouldn't be begging, it would be prayer.
Oh, I will pray. I will pray for a thunderbolt to strike the church and level it to the ground.
I wonder if they refused us because of me.
Why can't Tom repair their church?
Because these monks want to hold on to their coin as long as they can.
Well, they can't see that it's about to collapse. If it did, I'd have worked for a lifetime. But no, they believe it can all be held together by prayer.
Can't we go home?
Not anymore. We used all our supplies on the journey here. We've made our decision. Now we need to see it through.
Can I look around a bit?
Yes, but don't stroll too far. Be cautious of those monks. I told you the baby would be safe.
What baby?
Monks may be whips, but they take care of their own.
He will grow up to be a monk.
He will.
Well, I guess there are worse things than growing up close to God. Jonathan.
Mother?
Not now, Jack. A gift from God.
Jonathan?
I wish I could hold him.
I know. But you have to be careful. They must never know that you're
Here,
his father.
it'll make you tough again. Thank you.
Tom?
I'm fine. If only that stupid cathedral will fall apart.
I am not a ghost, little redhead, even if I am at death's door. If you go first, I will put you in the ground. It's what I do. I'll make it a nice grave. You'll like it, but you must dig me one, too, when my time comes. Agreed? That's good. Good. You must not be afraid to die. Death is not the end. There is more after. That's the secret. That is what all this here is about. You see?
Fall over already?
Yes? Oh, hello. I'm afraid we're out of food.
Who is it?
The mason's boy. I'm sorry, but I cannot help you. Come back in the morning, will you?
Those poor souls. They can hardly sleep. At least they don't have to take care of a baby.
I will not change my mind on this matter. We will help them, all of them. Remigius, do you truly want to leave these people to die?
We should remove ourselves from the world, my prior. It is for God to decide, not us.
We will help these people. We must.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Remigius here is right. This is no place for children.
Now I remember her.
What is it now, Remigius?
This woman. She came with the builder.
Yes?
She is not a refugee.
What do you mean?
She's an outlaw. She's been here in the past. Prior James warned me about her. She is not from Earl's Castle. She's from the forest.
But her husband?
I doubt they are married.
Young man, are you not the builder's son? What's your name?
Jack Builder.
See, he is the builder's son. Well, then off you go, Jack.
A strange child. And as suspicious as his mother.
Who are you? Ah, you're one of the refugees from Earl's Castle, aren't you? Did you see how they killed people? I don't think I could take it. We monks do not do things like killing.
I wish someone would just tear that cathedral down so we could start afresh.
That would require a miracle, and I really don't know a thing about them.
I'm so tired.
Come, I'll sing you a lullaby. Actually, it's Jack's favourite. A lark caught in the hunter's net sang sweeter then than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom never. All birds and men are sure to die, but songs may live forever.
Prior James. If they need to build a new cathedral, Tom will get work, and we can stay here, just like Mother wanted. It won't move. It's too heavy.
Smoke!
There's a breeze coming from the back.
It is you! By God and the devil! They sent you back to punish me. I told them we must repent for what we did to you. To all of them. For my sins. Cast me into the lake of fire.
My dear brother, only 2 days have passed since you left our priory. Much has happened in these 2 days. Many desperate men, women, and children have found refuge here. The Earl of Shiring was arrested. His castle taken by my bishop's allies. The people that we shelter were driven from that castle. Francis, I know this was not your fault, but I, myself, cannot but feel responsible for their fate. Milius and Cuthbert have taken it upon themselves to feed the baby. They called it Jonathan, the gift of God. Johnny Eightpence was right. He loves goat milk. The gift of God. And yet someone gave up on him. I will not give up on him, or on anyone else. Not on us either, brother, even if the hope for my own redemption is as small and frail as Jonathan is. I pray that this letter finds you in good health. In consideration of my own, I ask that you not talk about our parents again. One must let these things rest. I've made my peace and won't hear any more of it. I heard from you that only 3 in Earl Robert's employ can read. One of them is my brother. Your brother, Philip.
No! Get out of there!
What? What is that?
My God! Save yourselves! The saint! We must save the saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The saint! We must save him! No! Don't go!
While the monks and refugees cleaned up, I kept hidden. I hadn't expected that a magnificent building like this could so utterly collapse. That the ignorant little boy that I had been could so easily turn it back into a pile of dirty stones. I knew then that I had done something wrong, and no one could ever find out.
Prior Philip, I had the site cleared. It should be safe now.
Good work. Thank you, Master Builder. This concludes a very long night, then.
Many people left already. They asked me to thank you for your kindness. They're sorry for what happened.
Well, they should thank God for his mercy. No one got hurt, no one died. 45 monks and 11 novices, all accounted for. No one's missing.
No one?
Milius and Cuthbert even saved our saint from the crypt.
Do you know what caused this?
Someone set fire to the roof.
Do you suspect anyone?
No. The church was empty when we locked the doors.
Oh, no one got hurt. The books were saved. Even the bones of your saint were unharmed. Maybe this happened for a reason.
What do you mean?
Here. Let me show you something. Tell me, what do you see?
I see dawn.
Right. Prior, I am deeply sorry about what happened to your church, but you must remain steadfast.
And stare at the sunrise?
No, you're only seeing the sunrise because you're facing east, straight east, like a church. Now, I know you have no money, and that helping people is more important, but we could start right here. Take the stones we've got, and the people who want to help.
So, what is it I am looking at, Tom Builder?
It's the aisle of your new cathedral.
I see it. I see now. A few weeks later, I received an invitation from Bishop Waleran. In Winchester, we and Waleran's allies were to meet King Stephen himself. The bishop seemed assured that, because we had helped the king, Stephen would support us in return. And that with his help, we would be able to rebuild Kingsbridge Cathedral.
Percy Hamley.
Bishop Waleran. Good morning.
Ali! It's them! Over there! The Hamleighs!
Again, thank you for your assistance in Kingsbridge, my son.
We have to thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. Right, Mother?
Of course. Well, don't just stand there. Walk out with me, but very calmly. We can't let them see us.
Oh, children, pardon me.
Now we're only missing one more.
Here he is.
Good morning.
Bishop Henry, this is my prior.
Philip of Gwynedd, Prior of Kingsbridge, my Lord Bishop.
You won't have to say much today, Philip.
Leave the talking to us.
No, leave the talking to me.
King Stephen is my brother, after all. Let us make haste. My brother is an early riser.
We must make haste. I want to go hunting in the New Forest. England is full of game. No comparison to Normandy. This country's still wild.
This is Waleran Bygod, the Bishop of Kingsbridge.
Waleran, I remember you. We've met before.
And Percy Hamley.
My king.
He brought Bartholomew to justice. And it's not the first time he's helped me. He has Norman blood in him. We should hunt together someday.
Indeed, sire.
Bartholomew, on the other hand, will not leave the jail alive.
Percy Hamley did not do it without help, my lord. It was I who told him of the plot against you.
And now you come to be rewarded as well. I see.
My brother, the Cathedral of Kingsbridge has burnt down. Waleran asks for a reward, not for himself. He asks for our church.
I take it your church cannot afford to rebuild that cathedral, Henry. Neither can the crown.
I, or rather Bishop Waleran, had an idea. You could give the Earl of Shiring's lands to the Bishop of Kingsbridge to finance the rebuilding of the cathedral.
I like the idea. But Percy and his men were the ones who took Owl's Castle, not Bishop Waleran. Right, Percy?
Yes, my king.
He knows the area, and he will be a loyal Earl, will you not?
Of course, my king.
You ought to give thanks to God first. God made you king.
Don't go on like that, Henry. Don't do that. You know what happens when you do that. It was a long way to this throne. A long way.
Yes, my brother.
Now I will hunt.
My Lord King, I thank you for being willing to reconsider the future of the Shiring earldom.
When shall we hear your decision?
Tomorrow. Bring my bow. Tell the men we hunt.
Philip, Waleran and I have much to discuss.
All right. But what can I do to help?
Well, my brother asked me to get a confession from the traitor Bartholomew. A confession would be helpful against those who believe Bartholomew's arrest was unjust, and it may help us to convince my brother to forget all about his promise to Percy Hamley.
How could you let her get away? That little bitch.
I will find her, Mother. She was here? Why?
To see her father, of course. But that won't help her. She has already made a fool of you once. Don't let it happen again.
No, Mother.
Monk, it's about time you showed up.
Huh? Regan Hamley? We have not been formally introduced.
You are a fool. Is that formal enough for you, Monk? You don't understand any of this, do you? It's as if you've
How
never
can
set
I
a single
help you,
foot
Lady
outside your little... How you let yourself be used by those two greedy bishops, I'll never know. Waleran wants the lands of the earldom for himself. Henry knows that. Say something. You don't believe
You
me,
are
do
only
you,
worrying
monk?
about your husband's land.
Well, of course I am, and you should be too. If Waleran wins, we both lose. I know you don't trust me.
Do you have a way to prove any of this?
Ride with my son, William. Just a few hours. I will prove to you that Waleran will betray you.
All right. I will ride with your son, if only to prove you wrong.
Very well. Maybe you're not a fool, after all. But do not let the bishop see you. William?
What?
Ride with Father Philip. Do as I said.
William Hamleigh declined to tell me where we were heading. He enjoyed keeping me in the dark and forcing me to follow his lead. Sometimes he sped ahead on his war horse, and it took me some effort to catch up. But sooner or later he would stop and wait, sneering as I rejoined him. On one occasion he stood there urinating against a rock. When I caught up with him, he turned without covering himself. He found my shock at his shameful behavior comical. He laughed, got back into the saddle, spurred his horse and rode off. Again I followed, hoping this journey had not been another horrible mistake. Near a bridge, I found William with a group of washerwomen. He was shouting at them. When I arrived, I could only hear their replies. They said that they had not seen a girl or a boy fitting his description. A younger, blonde woman said that even if she had seen the girl, she would not tell him. Apparently, she had heard of William Hamleigh. William grabbed the startled-looking woman by the arm. He shoved his right hand under her skirt. She started crying. The other women asked William to stop, but were afraid to anger him. William turned and grinned when he saw me approaching. When he heard my words, William's grin faded. He pushed the young woman away. The other women looked at me in a strange way. They must have asked themselves why a monk would ride with such a man as William. We rode off, and William stared at me full of spite. I told him I pitied him. I did not tell him why, because I had no words for it. We did not talk after that. Not for a long time. William talked to more strangers along the way. First, I believed he was asking for directions. Then I realized that money was changing hands. William was paying these people for information. I was glad that for now he had lost interest in hurting others. Then I saw an old woman pointing William to a bearded man on a horse. William called the man a horse thief. Then he grinned and signaled the puzzled man to get on his horse and ride with him. They rode faster and faster, and I could not hear what more they talked about. I could not hear much. It seemed the man had agreed on a deal with William. He received a handful of coins, and before he rode off north, I believed I heard the two mention a name, Aliena, and I prayed that whatever William's plan was, that it would fail. Then William waved at me to ride faster. I reckoned we had to be close to where Lady Hamleigh wanted us to go. Not long after, my stomach turned as I realized just where exactly we were bound.
Just a moment.
What?
You know very well that Bishop Waleran is in Winchester now. So what are we doing here?
No idea. Mother never tells me anything. She treats me and Father like damn children. It's a wonder Father ever got to fuck her in the first place. But here I am, and I'm starving. Damn, I'm starving.
Where are you going?
In there?
No.
I'm sure the bishop would want to see me well fed. We won't be staying long, so whatever it is you gotta do, do it fast. How can I help you? How about you step aside?
William forgot to close his saddlebag.
You! Please! You were here before, weren't you? Yes. I remember you. Philip, isn't it?
Yes.
Please, you have to help me.
What happened?
He forced me to serve him food. He took the Lord's name in vain, and he pushed me and touched me.
Oh, God.
Ah, the monk. Oh. Did the boy call you? So what, did he ask you for help?
He did.
I should have knocked your teeth out, boy.
You should not have.
We're young men, he and I play rough. So what? I asked you to leave.
And that is what we will do. What will the bishop think of your behavior?
Listen, we're all on the same side here.
We are not.
You, me, him, we're all working for the bishop. He won't mind. I play rough, so what? We are all men of God. Well, I'm a man.
How are you working for the bishop?
You already forgot. I found you, back in Kingsbridge, when I escorted him.
You did not find me.
The bishop and I got talking. We have an understanding.
An understanding about what?
I took Earl's castle for him.
Your parents agreed to arrest Bartholomew because they wanted his earldom.
Who cares what they think? I felled Bartholomew's men with my sword. The old man was begging me for his life. On his knees, he begged me. I did it for the bishop.
What?
But hey, I'm sure you did great things for him as well. You think my father took Earl's castle?
It is time to leave.
Is it? This is the second time you've spoken to me as if I was some snot-nosed child. Get on your horse! Come on, say it again! I would have fucked that woman if it hadn't been for you.
And what would that have achieved?
She'd have learnt her lesson. And don't you think I noticed how you spied on me and that horse thief? I should kill you for that. I should. Let me tell you, I will fuck Bartholomew's whore of a daughter. I will fuck her good. I'm a man! Damn it, I'd fuck the boy if that was the only way to put him in his place. Hell, he looks like he'd enjoy it too.
Not even God would forgive those sins.
Of course he would. He already did. The bishop told me.
Then the bishop is wrong.
Hey, we're on the same side here. Now, we will stay here a while longer, as I've not finished eating. Shit.
Tell me, what is being built out there?
What?
A substantial construction is underway, it seems.
Yes, but...
What is it?
A castle. The bishop is building a castle.
A castle? Why a castle?
I don't know. It is not for me to ask or question the bishop.
Of course.
And I doubt it's for you to question him either.
If the bishop finds out about this, he will not be pleased. I have to fix this. Throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
What?
Hell. It is a depiction of hell.
The bishop said the relief intimidates even his most impious visitors. They all fear death.
I'm not afraid to die.
Do not fear those who kill the body. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell.
Who's he?
The devil. A fallen angel.
I have nothing to be afraid of.
The cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters and all liars. Their souls are the devil's. They will all go to hell.
Stop it! Hell is far away. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, that looks better. Better. We should leave.
I'm not done here yet. We stay.
It looks better now. We should get going. And if anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire.
What's that? It's from the scripture. The end of days.
The second death of the sinners.
Bishop Waleran said that if a sinner stares into the flame, the devil stares back from the lake of fire. What?
I can't see it. What is it?
We ride back to Winchester. Now!
What happened?
Maybe he saw things to come.
Good. Now you leave as well. That man, William, had no idea why you two came here, had he? You came here to spy on the bishop. You brought this man here. Leave! Go!
There you are. My son seemed thoughtful when he returned.
You priests and your talk. You always get to him.
He seemed more excited after talking to your bishop, though. Then again, we know Waleran is good with words. Don't we, my husband?
Of course, yes.
Speaking of Waleran, what did you find, monk?
A construction site.
Ah. So Waleran has a building project of his own. Did you also find out what he is building?
A castle.
Yes. He is building a castle for himself. And he used up every stone and every tree on his own lands. He claims he wants Bartholomew's land for your cathedral. But what Waleran wants is a castle.
He's always been like that.
Not long ago, you accused us of being selfish. But what about your bishop, eh?
What do you want from me?
As Prior of Kingsbridge, you will agree that my husband shall have the whole earldom of Shiring.
And why would I do you a favor like that?
Because we will support the rebuilding of your cathedral with our stones and our timber.
The king can live up to all of his promises, and Waleran gets nothing.
That is our offer. What do you say?
No, we have no deal.
Why not?
We made you a good offer.
You need me. The king still considers giving all the lands of the earldom to Waleran to rebuild our cathedral. You need this deal with me just as much as I do.
This is... Ugh. We taught this fool well, it seems.
What are your terms, father?
What is more valuable, arable land or forest?
Arable land, of course.
Then you shall have the arable and I'll have the forest.
I need the forest to hunt. An earl must have his hunting grounds.
You can hunt there. I just want the timber for my cathedral.
Ugh.
Which do you want, the cattle pastures or the sheep grazings?
The pasture.
Then I'll have the hill farms with their sheep. Would you like the income from markets or the quarry?
Suppose we said the quarry.
You won't though, will you?
No. We'll take the markets. You can have the stones.
It is agreed then?
We have a pact. My husband will let the king know of our agreement. Bishop Waleran will be quite surprised. You will see his true face when he does not get what he wants.
Good day.
You come to visit someone in my jail, Father? Or do you want to pick out a nice warm cell for yourself?
How dare you?
Oh, I'm just pulling your leg. See? A smile, just for you, Father.
Bishop Henry sends me.
The bishop, eh? What does he want?
He wants me to talk to Bartholomew of Shiring.
Bartholomew of Shiring? Ah. It's only Bartholomew now. It's his 4th day without bread. Soon he won't even be Bartholomew anymore.
Bartholomew, I am Brother Philip. Could you forgive those that wronged you?
Only God forgives. A monk should know that.
Why did you go against the king?
Stephen sent you. Why would you side with the usurper?
I was asked to make you confess.
Stronger men tried that before you. Why should I confess to you?
Your people found refuge in my priory. Your confession will help me to give them work and shelter.
I have no sins to confess. My only regret is that I failed.
I will not tell the king that. They will kill you.
They have already done that. Monk, tell them that I confessed.
To what?
All of it. Treason.
But
the Son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the Father. Tell Stephen that as well.
You know the scripture.
Richard and Aliena, my children, they must live.
And a good day to you too, Father.
He confessed to everything, but he asks for clemency for his children.
Good. I will let my brother know what we have achieved today once he returns from the hunt.
Good, Philip. You did well.
About Bartholomew's children.
My brother was never one to judge a man by the deeds of his father. Still, I shall mention Bartholomew's request to him.
Would you not rather build a castle, my bishop?
What?
A castle like this, I mean. Do you not find this place remarkable? Winchester Castle?
Of course. It is.
Maybe I should come back tomorrow.
Yes, there is not much a monk can do here.
Yes, your bishop and I will do what we can to help your priory.
My loyal subject, Percy Hamleigh, today becomes the Earl of Shiring. Of the former Earl's possessions, Percy shall have the castle, and all the land that is tenanted to knights, plus all other arable land and low-lying pasture.
I swear by all that is holy to be your liegeman, and to fight for you against any other.
My king...
Ah, yes. Of course, I have not forgotten the worries of my bishops. The Earl of Shiring himself, Percy here, solved this problem for me. Thanks to him, I can uphold my promise. Don't worry, Bishop Waleran. Kingsbridge shall be rebuilt. Percy told me of a man here whom my brother has not yet introduced. Come forward, Prior.
My brother, may I present to you Philip of Gwynedd?
My king.
You seem afraid. What are you worried about?
I'm worried about my priory and the cathedral.
I heard about the fire. How are you managing?
On the day of the fire, God sent us a builder, but we cannot pay him.
Don't worry, you can. Now, about the arrangement between you and Percy Hamleigh. He insisted that I give the sheep grazings belonging to the former Earl to the Priory of Kingsbridge. The Priory will also have the right to take stone from the Earl's quarry and timber from his forest. I wholeheartedly agree with the plan you two have devised. It shall be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
It seems unnecessarily complicated to give the land to the bishop. Percy told me that you, Father Philip, share that sentiment. He told me it was your idea to take up the burden of managing the rebuilding of the cathedral yourself.
Wonderful.
I'm glad that we all were able to help you, Bishop Waleran, in this pressing matter. After all you have done for me.
Thank you, Lord King.
Bartholomew lost everything in his attempt to end my reign. This morning he was found dead in his cell. I've heard that you, Prior, worry for his children, Richard and Aliena. While they shall lose their status, their name, and their land, they shall go free, wherever they are.
You must be very proud, Lady Hamleigh.
Of course. Father Philip has been very understanding in all this.
Yes, he is remarkable. Very remarkable.
My husband and I were terrified when we heard about the fire in Kingsbridge. It is a blessing that we can help him and his priory now.
You sowed the wind, Philip.
Is everyone ready? Yes, everyone will be there. But how are we to pray and contemplate like this? I don't dare even to send my choir out there. We shall get used to it, all of us.
We must be thankful for all of this, for each noise, each face that disturbs us here.
We shall start with the chancel, then gradually work our way from east to west. That's the way it's done, the way I was taught to do it.
I value your enthusiasm, my dear Mason, but so far we're only cleaning up. I haven't even considered hiring a master builder yet, neither you nor anyone else.
May I show you some drawings?
By all means.
When we walk around the site, we mark where the walls will be, the pillars, the doors and buttresses. Now for that we need a plan like this, to tell us where to place our pegs and string.
Is this how birds would see our church?
Exactly. I haven't told you everything about the floor plan yet. Here you can see the transept.
I noticed, yes. It is remarkable how much you can reveal with so few lines.
Thank you, Father. The chancel will have 4 bays.
What about the nave?
The nave is on the left. It has 6 bays.
I can see the transept is 2 bays wide, so it will be 12 in total. It does look splendid, but isn't that rather small?
Oh, can you afford to build it bigger?
I have trouble affording it at all. The king grants us timber and stone and wool from Shiring's pastures. But only God knows if it will be enough. I don't suppose you have any idea how much this would cost.
I know exactly how much this would cost. It would be no more than £3,000.
I've spent the last few weeks working out the annual income of the priory. Here's the answer. £300 a year. And we spend every penny. Go on now, show me the rest of your drawing.
If you were facing the cathedral with the front wall torn down, you would see it like this.
Interesting. What's that, coming out from above the entrance?
The nave will be about 32 feet high and will appear even higher.
Drawing the eye heavenward with its loftiness.
Well said. A chamber worthy of God.
I always wondered how walls this high could hold up so well.
That's the tower, of course.
I thought so, but why is it right above the nave? Shouldn't it be closer to the transept?
Oh, don't be fooled. The tower is, of course, farther back, but one can't show depth in a drawing.
Ah, of course. How high will it be?
How high would you like it to be?
Oh, I am not looking for another Tower of Babel. Just for something modest, yet awe-inspiring. What about the other drawings?
The walls of the nave are held by the aisles and buttresses bearing the pressure from the side.
Very interesting. What about the other drawings?
Imagine you're standing in the centre of the nave, looking at the wall. This is what you see.
Are those windows?
Right, but that's not all. On the lowest level are the pillars of the arcade. They're joined by arches making up the bays. Through the archways you can see the windows in the aisle. Starting right in the middle is the tribune gallery. Shall I go on?
Yes, of course. I was just thinking. Keep going.
On top are the clear-story windows.
I can see you've put a lot of thought into this. I was just wondering, how long would this take to build? You can take your time with that answer.
Well, that depends on how many people you employ. If you can afford 60 masons, you could build the whole church at once instead of working from east to west. That might take 8 years, maybe 10.
I wish my monastic officials had your ability to think ahead and calculate. So, I need to find £200 a year. It doesn't sound so bad when you put it that way. You really want to build this cathedral yourself, don't you?
Yes, Father. I want you to appoint me Master Builder.
Why?
Because he wants to give people hope.
Is that so? Then answer me this one last question. If people were to enter your church, what image would they see crowning the tympanum above the entrance? One of Judgment Day to teach people to be good? Or one of Paradise to remind them of God's mercy?
Show them hell, so that they're afraid to do bad things. I'd rather see trees and animals.
It should be the promise of a better life. Therefore, it will show heaven.
Yes.
This is quite exciting, isn't it, brother?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Francis.
I'm just glad that I can be a part of this. In the past year, I was often afraid that my involvement in politics might turn out, well, let's just say that I'm glad that I can still be by your side, Philip. And for that, I thank God. And I thank you too.
Papa, will there be statues inside? Statues?
Oh. That's enough, children. It's time you went out and played. Prior.
Yes?
My first wife, Agnes. She died without a priest, and she's buried in unconsecrated ground. Sometimes a man builds a chapel, or founds a monastery, in the hope that in the afterlife God will remember his piety. I just wonder, do you think my design might serve to protect Agnes's soul?
God no longer asks for blood sacrifices, for the ultimate sacrifice has already been made. But the lesson of Abraham's story is that God demands the best we have to offer, that which is most precious to us. So you must ask yourself, is this design the best thing you could offer?
Except for my children. Yes.
Then rest easy, Tom Builder. God will accept it.
Oh, good day, boy. If you see your mother, tell her the pain's gotten worse. I think I might take her up on our offer now. Oh, don't you ever get as old as I am, boy. 'Tis not natural.
Jack, do me a favour and give Paul these herbs, will you?
But he's a monk. You don't like monks.
Well, it turns out not all of them are bad. Still, be careful before you trust any one of them.
There he is! Give our prior the welcome he deserves!
Oh, you know, I am only following God's will.
Prepare to raise the bell! Make the prior proud!
Well, thank you.
Go on, Jack. Don't forget about Paul's herbs.
Where have I seen that woman before?
This is from my mother.
Oh, bless her. Boy, whatever Remigius says, your mother is a saint. Oh, is that the bell? Can you see it from here? A bell without a cathedral. Your father certainly had strange ideas.
It might be. What's a bell?
Excuse me? You! I remember you. You're the boy with no father.
Actually, I have two fathers now.
Is that so?
Yes. Tom Builder and Jack Sherberg.
I thought you weren't the builder's son.
Well, I am now.
I have to say, Prior Philip told me there would be a lot of sheep here. I can see he wasn't exaggerating.
You know Philip too?
I do. He's the reason I'm here. Is he around?
He should be around somewhere. Busy man, that fellow. But don't worry. You probably won't have to look for him for long.
All right. Thank you.
Shall we go after them?
No. Now we know where we can find them.
Ha! Ho!
My bishop, William Hamley, has returned to see you.
Send him in, Timothy. We have much to discuss.